And now an update on the day's top news stories. I'm Lewis Waters. Police are appealing for the public's help to trace a man wanted in connection with the rape of a 15-year-old girl. The 15-year-old girl was held at knife point during the assault. Thousands of people are at risk of harm or even murder due to widespread police failure to tackle domestic abuse. Greater Manchester Police have been criticised by government inspectors for failing to protect victims. A report identified that urgent action is required. Chief Constable for GMP Sir Peter Fahey has called the report unfair and said the court and the police powers need to change. A satellite from Thailand has detected 300 new objects in the southern Indian Ocean while searching for the missing Malaysian plane. The objects were said to be scattered over the area of the southwest of Perth. The search has been suspended this morning due to bad weather. Barack Obama has met Pope Francis in Rome for the first time in his European tour. The President has been meeting with the European leaders in a bid to settle the disruption in Ukraine. A court in Turkey has ordered a review of the Twitter ban. The Telecommunication Authority has 30 days to decide whether to remove the restriction. The Turkish Prime Minister said he would wipe out the last Twitter of last week after news of government corruption spread worldwide. And now, over to Helen for the weather.
The easterly front means that most of the UK is going to be stuck with rainstorms throughout the afternoon. Over the weekend, a warmer front should bring some nicer weather. The south coast will see the best of the weather this afternoon, and apart from a few scattered showers, they should manage to stay nice and dry. Mull will also see some sunny conditions. The rain will ease up for most of the places, but in the north it will become more continuous with showers expected overnight. Temperatures will be around 3 or 4 degrees and there is only a low chance of frost. So we are now heading over to San Francisco. It's raining there but in California, but in other parts, like Los Angeles, it is a little bit nicer. So over to San Francisco State University, where it is rainy and overcast.
Hello and welcome to State of Events. I'm Victoria Alanese.
And I'm Suzette Reynoso.
Our top story, Mayor Jean Quan is ready to change Oakland for the better. She wants a more diverse and enriched city. Her latest residential plan proposes bringing in thousands of new residents. Talia Smelian has the details.
Mayor Jean Quan has big plans for the city of Oakland.
The second major area I want to talk to you about is building the prosperity in the city for everyone. It is no secret that Oakland is booming right now.
Mayor Quan says she wants to bring 10,000 new residents to Oakland and build them 7,500 units throughout the city. Her proposal is an extension of former Mayor Jerry Brown's 10K plan, which is credited with fueling the city's restaurant and bar boom in Oakland's uptown and downtown areas. I'm here at City Hall where Oakland Mayor Jean Quan gave her city address. Mentioning her 10K2 residential plan, Quan wants to revitalize the city and create affordable housing. By bringing in residents to the city, Quan believes the public transit system will prosper.
We're hoping that in our 10K2 that the buildings and the homes will be in all parts of the city, particularly along our transit corridors where we'll be able to get some state funding for affordable housing. So that would be International Boulevard, that would be San Pablo, Telegraph. It would be at each of the BART stations where we could build transit villages similar to the Fruitvale station.
BART spokeswoman Luna Salaver had high praise for the mayor's proposal.
Anytime you have a high-density project near a BART station, it's a triple win. It's good for the environment, great for local economy, and it improves your life as an individual.
Urban Studies and Planning professor Pietro Calogero had several concerns about the 10K2 plan.
Be very careful about is what sort of protections are in place both for tenants and also for long-time owners in the area.
I make a commitment that we're going to try to make sure that at least 25% of those new homes are also affordable.
I don't think by most people's estimate that they're going to be affordable. I think that you can do a technical definition of what affordability means.
In Oakland, I'm Talia Samalian, State of Events.
West Coast weather could be getting even more wet and wild than the recent storms in Southern California. The National Oceanic, Atmospheric and Administration has issued an El Niño watch. The NOAA warns that an increase in wind and the jet streams over the southern U.S. can possibly create severe tornadoes and thunderstorms. We saw El Niños before in 1997 and 1998. With El Niño, wetter conditions are often dealt to the west coast, which could help California's drought. As of now, the El Niño Southern Oscillation is in a neutral phase. There is about a 50% chance that it will fully develop this summer or fall. We sure don't feel any change in weather yet. Many areas are still suffering from drought. Our Central Valley correspondent is a few hours south of Tulare, finding out about how the drought is affecting our local crops and dairy products. Let's hear from Kaylee now.
Well, I'm here in Tulare, California, a town that's considered an agricultural mecca and part of California's breadbasket. The drought is hitting especially hard here, as you can see by this empty canal that I'm standing in. And although we did experience some rain here earlier in the day, officials have informed me that it would take months of heavy storming to provide some sort of relief for California's current drought situation.
In the city of Tulare, a major food and dairy source for California and the world, water is far from taken for granted. The drought has made national headlines this year. But dairyman Mark Waddy has informed me that the shortened water supply has been a long time coming.
There will for sure be no surface supply this year. We had zero supply last year, and the year before, 3 years ago, we had a very limited amount.
Should the rest of us care about Central California's water supply? Definitely, says Mark.
When we farm this ground, when we take water, soil, and sun and interact those three and create, whether it be cotton, cattle feed, pistachio, whatever we do, we create wealth. We have the safest, cheapest food in the world here.
Water distributors agree. A water district manager says that the future for water, as of now, looks dismally dry.
Because the system that is in place today was designed for the population that was here in the 80s. So since the 80s, we're just stretching the existing system farther and farther and farther without developing any new supplies or infrastructure.
Dealing with the water on their hands now leaves not much to deal with at all.
But how we're going to deal with this year with no water, I don't know.
But this is one of the worst drought times, if not the worst drought time since we've had recorded history.
I've noticed a change in mood in the folks of Tulare today. The earlier rain seems to have provided some temporary relief. As far as a long-term solution, however, those questions are still left unanswered. I'm Kaylee Hendricks here in Tulare, California with State of Events. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kaylee. And continuing our team coverage of the drought is Suzette Reynoso. She's talked to a few local wineries to find out the drought's impact on what Northern California is known around the world for. It's vino.
That water would be out of business.
Bob Sorensen checks the forecast every morning, hoping to get some rain coming his way.
We've had less than an inch of rainfall here. Normally this time of year, I would have anywhere from 12 to 18 inches.
As vineyard manager of Winte Winery in Livermore, California, his biggest challenge is keeping the crop alive. For the first